I believe that the fires we're cast upon are the flames we shall become. I believe in a common calling where our temples pray as one. I believe in the word of wonder and a kingdom for the saved.
Should full screen this, huh?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If there's already
Larry
someone,
Pollock, Oster and Powers here. Leo Myhofer. We're going to go over the Detroit Pro. Why is this so small down here?
I have a new shirt. Everyone can go order it in the DMs. Overcome. And on the back is Hercules.
I'm not sure why we're like small in the corners down here.
Me neither. Okay, let's just look at the Detroit Pro already, right?
Yep, let's get into it.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people that are in
I'm
there.
gonna pull up the
list. Yeah, we have like, I guess, kind of like 5 guys that are, in the run.
Let's see.
We have William Bonac. We have Justin, my former client. We have we also have a live stream, by the way, which is going to be interesting. Who else is in there? Carlos Thomas Jr. is going to be interesting because this good man has probably the best genetics from a muscle building standpoint of all of the competitors. We have who else do we have in Detroit? I think I mentioned Bonac, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Who else is there?
Get this,
Eiren, Gauley, Ronald Gordon.
Here, let me scroll down on this.
Yeah.
There we go. Better?
Yeah. Sasan Heirati. I forgot Sasan Heirati, who's a really, really good competitor. I'll see if he put up a new update here on my end. I don't think so. No. So
No, this is everybody right there.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to see if he put anything up, and then we have James Hollingshead, who looked pretty good. I just saw a photo of him with Branch Warren, I think. I'm not sure who posted it. I'm going to check that out right now because maybe I can pull it up. Oh, yeah, here. I'll put it up for a second. If I can do that while you do it, we'll see.
Let's
looks pretty decent, huh? And then I saw some side shots. Also really good. We'll see. James has looked good a lot of times up front, and then for some reason he doesn't bring it.
I don't know why, but what you're showing me, I put it present, and it's not showing on the screen. Do it again.
Oh, you did. You saw it, but it wasn't shared?
No.
Do you see it now?
Yes. Let me see.
So this is James.
Oh, I got to remove this first. Hold on. Okay. Here we go.
I think this was probably a week ago, even though it was posted a day ago.
Yeah, he was flat at the Arnold, but he looks full here.
Yeah.
Someone was saying him and his coach thought they just had, nerves at the Arnold, maybe made him not fill out and holding a little bit of water, but he looks big and full here.
Yeah, I think Gasp also posted a few pictures of him, if I'm not mistaken. No. Maybe it was Branch Warren.
I have him I have James top 3, maybe.
Top 3, maybe. Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to get the top 5 for sure, but Bonac should be in front of him. I also think
I think Bonac's going to win.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, exactly.
I don't see anybody beating Bonac.
Then we have Sasan Heirati.
Can you pull up a recent of Bonac?
Yeah, let me see what Bonac looks like. It's always so like a question of shape, but usually Bonac is pretty diced. So I think everyone's kind of counting on him being really, really diced. I don't know. Okay, if this is now, it looks good. Let's see. I'll share it. So this looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I got to tell you, for a guy that's been competing for a long time, he's still bringing it. I mean, when he first, I shouldn't say came back because he never really was out of the game, but he took a little time off and then he started competing again, and his legs were downsized. He had some injuries he was dealing with. He wasn't his old self, but he's brought it back. And he beat Beirut last year in that one show.
In one show.
Yeah, so
that's true. Yeah.
I definitely see. I don't see anybody beating him here. He always comes conditioned.
I could bet my life this signature series. He has nothing to do with just sold his name for it. It's always like these guys have these signature series, and they have nothing to do with it, and totally crappy products. Maybe that's good products. I'm saying but usually when I see signature series, I'm already like, oh my god, what's that gonna be? And then it's like some formula from the '90s where you're like, this is not up to date. Like mass gainers with sugar. Like what? But they selling it in India, and in India you can sell everything. But okay, let's stay on the topic. Sorry, I'm going on it.
No, a lot of people are talking about this Sasan Heirati.
Yeah.
He placed second
2018 or 19, yeah.
Yeah.
2018, I think, at the California, and he was 6th at the New York Pro, where Sergio Oliva thought he should have won. So he looked really great at this New York Pro. I see if I can put the pictures up from then. I think he looked better back then, actually, than last year, even though he looked good last year. But back then, he looked even better. Yeah, I saw some pictures.
No, he's a name that I don't think a lot of U.S.-based people are familiar with. He's very popular over there in England.
Yeah.
And I know the English fans are really rooting for him.
This was the New York Pro. I think he doesn't look that good anymore.
There are some recent updates that he just posted.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Pretty recent. It looks good. It's interesting how white he is, huh? He's very pale, because he looks like Persian, Yeah, he's a great bodybuilder. I love his muscle quality. Oh,
he slapped a town on there. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He could be anywhere from second to fourth.
Yeah, agree. It's very, very depending on the shape. As I know him, he usually comes really peeled. So I think if I would have to bet, I would probably say Bonac first and Sasan Heirati second. And then Justin Musiol, my friend and former client, or Hollingshead, I would say.
I think I give Hollingshead second, just because we haven't seen Heirati on stage in a while, and we don't really know how he's going to look.
No. He was on stage last year.
Yeah, I know, but he took fourth?
Yeah, but he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good. But, if I look at Sash and I look at Hollingshead, Sash is more complete. Hollingshead has some flaws. Like Hollingshead has very weak abs that always make him look not in condition.
Right.
Also on his front lat spread, you see it. Then he like his lats are just not coming out. Maybe it's his posing. I don't know.
When he's
And
full and shredded, he's good. If he's flat, he's way out.
Yeah, and but the last time he was good is years ago. And then he always came. He wasn't bad. Like, don't get me wrong, right? But we're talking about world class, top notch, not like me, like 10th place, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I wish him the best because I know him from 2018. We met at Best Powerhouse in 2018 during the New York Pro, and Sash was doing that show, and Hollingshead was there too. And
Pull
we
up
were
those
talking.
pictures of him recently again.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up the recent pictures of Hollingshead again, the ones you just pulled up a few minutes ago.
And so we sat at the bar at Bev Francis, and we were talking, and he saw that I'm such a fan of Sasan Heirati, and I had Sash as my background picture, and he was like, this guy has you as a background picture, and he called Sash. he was very happy for his friend that they found someone in the USA who like has Sash as his background picture. What the hell? So that was kind of cool. And then we took a Uber back that was like super expensive. We took it together because it's so far out, Beth Francis. So I know
that's an old picture though. There's current ones.
I think that's like 2 days ago or something.
Oh, is he back working with Branch again?
No, he's just in Texas before the show because he's with Gasp. So I think he's just like getting used to the time zone a bit, so he doesn't have to fly that far shortly out. And Gasp was a great company, man. This guy needs more praise. Michael Johansson, he does so much for bodybuilding, dude. You know what he does at his gym? Once a month, a Saturday, he has it's called barbells and breakfast. And what he does, I'll pull him up. What he does is everyone who comes in gets free breakfast, and he just has catering there. And he just wants people to hang out and have a great time and train together. He's so giving. Like, he does barbecues all the time for all the athletes that cost tons of money. Like the amount of beef and all that stuff he's buying and organizing, and he's just creating such a great community. And yeah, this is Michael. He used to be a bodybuilder, had really big legs. He's still lifting, like he's not tiny.
This is at Metroflex?
This is at Destination Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Destination Dallas is the gym where Gasp actually has their warehouse in. It's in Allen, Texas. I trained there for 6 months. And also as a pro, you don't pay. Pros are free. And he's really, really pro bodybuilding. I don't know anyone who's like really so much behind it in the States. He's like he related to some of the guys from Dubai.
Let's take a look at Carlos Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
Now he was.
Does he have any? I think he stayed pretty much in the dark, huh?
I think there might be some stuff on him currently. I saw, but he was a disappointment at the Arnold.
Arnold's, yeah.
He came in what 6?
No, way back 9. He just beat 2 guys or so. I think he just beat Patrick
That's
Moore and Rodriguez. Yeah,
that's right.
Patrick Moore and Rodriguez.
He has all the muscle in the world. He's just hasn't brought the conditioning. And I was there when he turned pro in 2022 in Miami. The guy's his back is a little not up to par with the rest of him, but I mean he's massive. His legs, arms, everything is huge. He just needs to bring that conditioning.
You know, it could be his immuno disease that he has.
Oh, he has ulcerative colitis, and I actually had ulcerative colitis. Now I have Crohn's, which is very similar. Mm-hmm. And for him to be able to carry that type of muscle with having colitis, that's pretty impressive, honestly, because it's a digestive disorder.
Yeah.
And to hold that kind of size, he's got to eat an awful lot of food.
Yeah. They also told me, I met him and his dad at last year's New York Pro, and they told me that when he has stress, that weakens his immune system, and he kind of pulls water. So he has to be in the very best state. Otherwise, he's gonna just when you have stress, you pull water, and this guy is like that times 4.
Well, I think the colitis doesn't have anything to do with holding water, but the stress definitely messes up your digestion. And if your digestion is messed up and you can't absorb any of your food, you're trying to carb load, that really could be a huge problem.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he has another thing going, another disease, another
no, but just the colitis alone, I mean, your stress definitely causes you to have, you just don't digest your food well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think everybody holds water from stress, from cortisol, but that's not to do with the colitis. That's just a.
Yeah, no, of course.
That's
just what they told me, that for him it's,
Well, he might
even more
be just super. Yeah, he might just be super sensitive to stress. I know. Under certain circumstances, if I get stressed, I definitely get flare-ups with the Crohn's. But for me, it has to be something really extreme. Like
I see.
I haven't had flare-up in a while, actually.
I see. Okay, let's pull up Justin, my friend. You know what? Let's pull up the YouTube video that he just uploaded, because there's a form update. Oh, he has one 18 minutes. 18 minutes ago, he uploaded one, so that's perfect. So let's see where the posing is. Oh, yeah, there, I found it. Oh, that's great. There you go.
Show it to us?
Yeah. I'll just check the right timing, See it?
Yeah. He's big, and his conditioning is crazy, but his waist is just a little blocky.
Yeah.
He's just too blocky.
He might have what's it called? Something torn here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just he's just got a wide waist. So even as big and conditioned he is, he doesn't have a lot of flow. Even in his quads, they're big, but there's not a lot of sweep. From the side, they're crazy.
I think there's a little problem with the lighting here, because when you saw the front double, it was so dark that you couldn't see his lats. But this is going to be interesting. Look, oh my God.
Definitely got size and conditioning for sure. That's impressive.
It's going to be interesting. I think he's going to
do well. You know about what his height and weight is?
I think he's a 5'8", maybe. And I think, last year he was 108. So he should be like 116 kilos or so. What's that in 116 kg in LBS? Let me see. 255?
Yeah, that's what he looks about like that.
Yeah. Well, he looks great.
Yeah, I think size and conditioning, he's right there with the rest of them. I don't see him beating a Bonac.
Nah, yeah, that's going to be difficult. Unless he stands next to him and Bonac has a film, and somehow next to each other, he looks so impressive. That,
I'm just saying.
It's always,
Bonac's very rarely off.
Yeah. He has definitely wider shoulders than Bonac, but yeah.
Yeah, but Bonac's just shape and
stomach,
all that, smaller waist. I don't see him beating Bonac. My friend Bartley Weaver is in this, which is, I think this is his first open pro show. He came from classic to open.
Does he have a YouTube channel? Bartley Weaver?
Yeah, Bartley Weaver.
Maybe he has an update here. This guy, 2 days ago?
Yep.
Swole Stroll?
Yeah, he was the eating champion. And I actually trained in the gym with him at when I was at the Arnold at that pro gym. And he's looking pretty damn impressive. He's tall, very tall. Like I want to say over 6 foot for sure.
Does he live in Miami or something?
Yeah, he's actually one of Derek Lunsford's training partners.
Okay, here's no let's check out his
Instagram.
Yeah. Bartley Weaver.
He was looking really lean and conditioned at the when I saw him in Pitt at the Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
We did a little bit of back together, and we took some pictures, but
he doesn't look like he has the size on this. But is he very tall?
He's over 6 foot.
Yeah,
I want to say like 6'2".
I think he's going to be too small.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think he's. I think his upper body is more impressive. I think his legs are not quite there. Like I said, he came from Classic, and this is his first open show. I don't see him as top 5, but I see him probably middle of the pack. But this is his first open bodybuilding competition. It's impressive. He's a world champion in the eating competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, he eats like 10 million hot dogs in one sitting. And still shredded all the time.
That's crazy. Well, that's a good skill to have, right? It's definitely a good skill to have.
I was thinking, I wonder if that he must have great digestion to be eating that kind of amount of food.
Yeah. True.
And that probably helps with the bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And
true.
I wonder if bodybuilding helps him eat that much food.
So he won't get fat, you mean?
Well, not just that, but I'm just saying just the ability to absorb that many calories.
Yeah.
I know when I was at my biggest, and my metabolism was going crazy, I could put down a shit ton of food.
Yeah.
I used to go to these all-you-can-eat smorgasbord places and just eat a lot. Wasn't probably the best thing for my waist, but I sure could put down a lot of food. But it seemed like I needed to do that to hold the size.
For sure. Like if your metabolism requires X amount of calories and you can't put them in, how are you going to ever grow? Like at some point you have to eat more than you burn. So, yeah.
All right, let's look at.
Yeah. Is there other guys you want to take a look at before we come to a guesstimate? I think this Rafala guy, I always hear of him. Let me look him up. I always see that name. I want to see if he improved. I guess he turned pro like at 21, something like that. Rafala. Damn, did I spell him right? Jesus, what? How is he spelled?
Rafala?
With B? Not with F?
You're looking at I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I'm looking at the list right now.
Let me see the list again. Benjamin Rafala. Yeah.
Oh, Rafala. Okay. I thought you said
I couldn't find him. Maybe he blocked me. I wouldn't know why because I've never ever talked to the guy, I think. But I can't find any Rafala.
I've never even heard of him. I don't know who it is.
Okay. Yeah. Then
he doesn't have an Instagram?
I can't find any Rafala on Instagram. Maybe he has some weird name. Even if I just put RAF.
Except from USA, huh?
Yeah, I can't find him.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. I don't know who he is.
Yeah. This is sad. I wanted to look at him. Too bad. So if you block me, you're not getting the shout out now. So who else do we have?
Let's see.
I think Ronald Gordon looked pretty good. Wasn't that the guy that they were announcing too? A black guy in a most muscular.
Yeah. Go ahead and pull him up. See if you can find him.
Oh my God! The name doesn't show either. Are those all like old school bodybuilders? Ronald Gordon. I spelled it right. Ronald Gordon. You're not existing on this planet. I'll just go for the search anyways and see what's coming up. This is wild. I don't know. Maybe my Wi-Fi is broken. Or I just
You'd think as an IFBB pro bodybuilder, they would, especially competing, they'd have an Instagram up.
They should. I go on the D-Trade Pro side because I know they posted him. Maybe they tagged him. They should have if he exists on Instagram. I mean, some people, why do it if they have a full-time job and they don't care? I think it's leaving money. Ron Gordon. Maybe he's under Ron Gordon.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my God, his name is _Mr_RPG. Yeah, how the hell am I going to find you, bro?
Oh, I know who this guy is. This guy trains with Chris Lewis. He's
Psycho?
massive. Yeah.
So then he must be around from my area.
He trains. He's here.
I mean, Psycho is in Redondo. That's like 20 miles from me.
Yeah. He trains. He's here. He's huge.
Oh, he looks nice.
Yeah, he's huge. He's
good.
massive.
His waist. Oh, we have a dark horse.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's he's huge.
So he has to put this leg up front, I would say. But see how his legs change when he flexes them? Jesus Christ. It looked like, okay, here's the no legs. Then he's flexing them, and all of a sudden he has like big legs. Oh, shoot. This is crazy. Wow.
Yeah, in person, he's one of the most massive people I've seen.
He's tall too, huh? He looks pretty tall. That's going to be interesting.
He goes to the shows down in Southern California, and he's just huge.
Wow. Damn, why didn't he ever do anything? Or like, did I just miss it? I never heard of him before. Really.
I think he's just. I don't know if he's really started competing until now. Maybe he did. I didn't hear him until recently either.
This looks like, is that the Detroit Pro last year? This looks like this Detroit D. Site Tricep Bodybuilding, Scott Dugdale. That looks like it should have been February 18th. Yeah. Okay, so that looks crazy. I mean, he looks really good. Okay, I think he's going to do the top 5. If that guy's in shape, he has a really nice shape. Maybe he has 0 back, I don't know, but he looks good. He was on the Menace podcast here.
Yeah. I mean, really wide shoulders and big arms.
So I think, if there's not other guys on there that I haven't seen that look crazy, then I think he has a good shot for the top 5. I think he does, especially being that tall. I would
say it depends on his conditioning. If he can come in.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, conditioning has to be there. Now they're going to do a live podcast, and it's a free live stream on this show this Saturday, the 29th, and we're going to do a watch party. So you'll be able to watch along with us, and we'll be talking about it and you can watch it live. And I'll post up the link on social media on our Instagram. So you can jump on it. It's a free live stream, but put on by Floyd Abiad. Actually, should we show it right now, just so people will know
who you want to show?
Just Floyd Abiad. It's going to be a live. It's going to be a live podcast. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Did he post about it on Instagram or what?
I saw Floyd Abiad posted about it the other day. I sent it to you on the live stream. He posted about it on Instagram.
I think it's like Classic is also going to be interesting.
Okay.
I'm excited for Classic too.
I know I saw the thing for the live podcast. I don't know. Maybe it's on Floyd Abiad's YouTube channel.
Well, they're going to do a play-by-play too, like us, or what? What do you mean?
Floyd, he's probably going to do it. I think a bunch of people are doing it. Yeah. But
no, I know there's a live stream. You know,
it's a free live stream.
Show also has a live stream. Yeah. Oh, that's different. But I think my next show is also going to have a live stream, so people can watch that too.
Building.
All right.
Live stream.
I think just on the Detroit Pro website, they were going to have it. You just go to Detroit or hostile.com/pages/Detroit Pro. I'm on here right now. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see.
Oh, you found it?
That must be the link. Wouldn't it be there? I don't see it. Interesting. I don't see it.
Yeah, I would think it would be under that hostile.com.
So I'm going to click on the first site again. Sponsors, prejudging finals, athlete registration, Pro 10, hair, makeup, pro show, tickets. Maybe it's under tickets?
No, I looked. I don't think so.
I saw this live stream somewhere too. It says something like DetroitPro.com/live stream or something like that. But I don't see it right now. But it will be like you'll be able to find it. I mean,
yeah, we'll find it and we'll put it. I'll post it on Instagram.
They will definitely also post it on the Detroit Pro Instagram page, 100%. Like, why wouldn't they post it if it's free?
Right.
So they're gonna definitely post it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can watch along. Oh wait, here live stream. Bum. Okay, no, they don't say, but they're gonna drop. Oh, on the YouTube channel is the live stream. On Fuad's YouTube channel, they're gonna do a live stream.
Okay.
So that's maybe another channel too, but that's like, that's clever. I mean, get the views, get the money at least from the YouTube.
So is that on Hostile or Fuad's personal?
No, you go on Fuad Abiad's YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that he made the announcement.
Yeah. You want to get into Classic? Because I think Classic is.
Yeah, let's look at the Classic.
Because I have one dark horse that no one's talking about, and I think this kid is really good. And actually, he's even sponsored by Hostile. Probably that's the reason why they want him to compete.
So here's the Classic list.
Yeah. So the very last on we have everyone's expecting Grego versus Bissers. That's for sure. But we have Jay Yount. That's the last guy on the list. And I'm going to show you that guy right now. And apparently he got bigger too from his last showing. And I think his last showing was also very strong. So this is Jay Yount.
Oh, I remember seeing this guy before.
Yeah, I think he looks really impressive. When was this? 4 days ago. I mean, the waist is tiny, the arms are huge, the chest is full, the vacuum is in, the legs look striated. I don't from the front, I don't see anything that's off here. I mean, by himself, he looks more balanced than Vissers from the front. It's always the thing, like, which physique do you like better? And then we go into the shots and maybe he gets exposed. I don't know.
His
From the
legs look a
side, his
little bit
legs,
small to me for his
yeah,
upper body.
from the side, they look very small because his rib cage is so huge and everything here is so huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So his legs look a little small, probably not by themselves, but with his upper body, yes. Because his
I'm
arms are
saying in
huge.
proportion to
Yeah,
his upper body, his legs
exactly. Yeah,
just
yeah,
don't look quite like they're quite up
I agree.
there.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, gonna be interesting. Yeah, the legs look, yeah, they look a little small because the rest is too big for it. By themselves, they look good, but yeah. But look
Now,
how he seemingly lost a bit of size. This looks
now
better.
what?
Maybe it's the
Let's
angles.
took a look at Wesley Vissers because he had problems at the Arnold, and supposedly that was because um,
He was
he got
puking. Yeah,
sick.
yeah. He told me in the DMs, like we were chatting. He told me that he'll bring the fullness like he had before the Arnolds. So, um,
I
yeah.
mean, he looks great there.
There his face is also still chubby, but the rest doesn't look chubby at all. Because usually his
No,
face gets like sinks in pretty much.
yeah,
But I mean, usually like Stefan and him, they usually do a good job of getting peeled. Sometimes they weren't as full, but he's going to be peeled, and he's not going to puke again, I guess. So he's definitely going to get better than the Arnolds, I'm very sure. And that wasn't bad either, but this was the one that he won this one year. So
hmm
his legs look really full, and when you compare that to the last one, where his legs look, if he loses fullness, it hurts him the most in his legs, and then his proportions are a little off. But if he can keep the legs full, then it's interesting, man. But I think people bet on McGregor more so, even though Matt beat Wesley, but he also beat a Wesley that had puked before and had
right.
like big problems. So it wasn't a fair battle, but I think it's still gonna be freaking crazy hard for Wes to beat Matt Grego. What I wonder is, do the judges see what I see with Matt Grego? Do they see that one leg is like way bigger than the other? And or are they like, okay, but the smaller leg is still big enough? Do they even care? I just wonder because his left leg is so much bigger than the right leg, and the rest
I
is like
guess it
he
depends
looks
on
great.
the way if he poses it right, you might not be able to tell so much
Yeah, that's true.
because
But
I mean they
I,
both look
yeah,
shaped pretty similar.
yeah, yeah. If he does it like this,
Yeah,
like on this shot, that still shot when this reel started, that was good. That was good. Let's look at it. I don't like. It's crazy, but he could even be a little drier here. But the lights is also just pretty shitty. It's pretty much from the front and it washes it out. I think he looks like he injects his shoulders. They look a little pointy,
hmm
and obviously he doesn't have the biceps like Wesley. They're a little long and flat.
hmm
He has a little better shape waistline lat wise. Wesley's is a little edgy, it goes straight up and then it flares out. And this one he flares out right away. He has a huge ass. He has a good back. I don't know if it's better than Wesley's. His legs overall definitely better than Wesley's. Gonna be interesting. Oh, he
he looks
doesn't?
more.
Okay.
I don't know. Somehow he looks. His structure seems like it flows a little bit better than Wesley.
Yeah.
I know Wesley's tall, and that makes it. He really has to be filled out big to fill out that frame.
Yeah. But I
Overall, I
could.
mean, I think I think Wesley's going to have a hard time with him.
Yeah. I think Wesley can beat him because he will beat him in some shots. When they move around, you could say, oh, Grego looks a little more aesthetic. But in the shots, like in the side chest, Grego doesn't have a chance if Wesley's on. Like there's some poses. From the back, the upper part is like the back itself. Wesley should be better. The lower part, Wesley should be worse. It's gonna be tight, man. It's really gonna come down to if Grego gets super peeled and Wesley too. This one is like a one by conditioning. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be very interesting. Yeah, and then we have the guy that got second at my show last week, but he's very narrow. I don't think he's gonna do much here. But very thick and dense. Hamza. And who else do we got? My friend Luke Steinker. Pretty dice, pretty good shape. Can get into the top 5. Let me see who else. Detroit Pro, they had it pulled up. What else do we got?
Someone asking Carlos beat Sasan.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if he came in insane shredded, which we've never seen, then anything's possible, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. Because that's always the thing. Like, yeah, if he comes in 100%, yes, but I've never seen him 100%. So why would I bet on that, you know?
No.
So that's always the thing. For some reason, I don't see the competitors list anymore. Oh, there you got it. Alex Kent looks pretty good. He looks more classic than a lot of guys that actually beat him. Yeah, I'll pull him up. So the thing is, what's classic? Because the two top guys in the show last weekend, where Alex got 5th, they were very, very narrow shoulders and super short, which, like, I don't think is actually the classic ideal. But on the other hand, it was judged by Tamer, and Tamer doesn't judge the Arnolds or doesn't judge. He's not the head judge at other shows, like the big shows. So the judging could just be very different too. So that is Luke.
I don't. His legs look weird.
Alex Kent.
His legs just, I don't know. There's no. His upper body looks okay, but the legs I don't know. From the side, they look okay, but from the front, they just look weird.
You don't like how they're shaped?
There's no sweep at all. They're just kind of flat in his quads.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of the posing.
Like, it just shows right away, like right there. His legs just do not look good. I don't know I don't think that's posing. That's just he just doesn't have a whole lot of development going on in his quads. Yeah. Like from the side, they're okay. Back looks decent.
We'll see what he does. I think he looks pretty good.
See right there, like he's got no sweep, no outer sweep, and he has not enough abductors either. It's like just they look flat.
I wouldn't say no sweep. It's a little sweepy.
Well, when he does that, yeah, but when he's just standing there like that,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's a different kind of. The sweep starts low and then it doesn't come. Usually, it's the other way around. That it sweeps and then it goes in. So because the sweep is so big on the lower part, it looks less sweepy.
But also, like, there's no he has no abductors either. Legs, I don't know. The legs.
You're so harsh. He has no abductors. I wouldn't say he has no abductors, but
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
okay, they could
they're
be bigger. Yeah,
they're proportionally, you can't hardly tell.
I don't want to know what you'd say on my legs. We
I've
better
already
not talk
told you
about
you
my
need to
legs.
work on what you need to work on.
I did the. I'm starting doing the sumo deadlifts. I
Yeah.
showed you the video. Yeah,
How do they work for you?
I love them. So I feel that like my hamstrings and glutes like crazy. Really good,
Different
really
than
good. I did
anything else.
so yeah, and I did leg curls before to feel them even better. To have pre-exhausted hamstrings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good. And then I did also some um, uh, leg presses, like a little higher stance. I It's also a little on the very deep, very very deep. Yeah, and I did hex squats today. And with the hex squats, I managed to put a pad underneath the shoulder pads so I could go deeper down because I couldn't elevate them because we don't have something that wouldn't slide down. I don't have like extra high boots or something. So that was really good. I could go as deep as that my hamstrings touched my calves.
Mm.
So my training's great, man. If you train with me, you'll see my training's not the problem. I feel
Well, you just
everything.
started. You
Just
just started
yeah.
doing the sumo deadlifts.
No,
So
that's true. The deadlifts, yeah. We'll see how that is going to work. I'm excited. You know,
yeah.
even even just because I think your input is great, and the placebo, I think that alone is going to make it work too. Just because I
No, I'm
believe,
telling you,
yeah.
I'll just say I told Leo the other day I did for the first 20 years of my training, I had huge quads and underdeveloped hamstrings and glutes because I squatted like Tom Platz, like relatively narrow with a high bar, and all I did for hamstrings was leg curls, and I did every kind of leg curl in the world. I used to do a whole hamstring workout with like seated leg curls, standing leg curls, uh, lying leg curls, all of the leg curls, and I still couldn't grow my hamstrings. And the reason is because the leg curl only works a small portion of the hamstring. It doesn't work the bulk of the muscle. And it wasn't until I got into powerlifting and I started doing really wide squats. And I did this for powerlifting, but then all of a sudden I had no knee pain and I grew hamstrings and I started doing sumo deadlifts. And I all of a sudden in 1 year I had hamstrings and glutes. This is after 20 years of training where I just didn't have that. And I remember I went down to Gold's Venice one day and I was squatting like really heavy weight, which like almost nobody does down there. And Tom Platz comes up to me and, I was squatting at that time. I was relatively wide with a low bar, like a powerlifter squat.
Well, what year
And
was
he's,
that?
oh gosh. God, when was that? I got it. I want to say it's got to have been around
Just in the ballpark.
2008, 2009, something like
Ah,
that.
okay, that late. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I've been powerlifting since I was 20 years old, but I didn't know how to squat properly for powerlifting or deadlift properly until I trained with these powerlifter guys, which I started training with them in about 2007, 2008, right after Raw Deal. When I opened that gym in Camarillo, these powerlifters came to my gym and they changed my squat stance mainly to be able to use a squat suit because you can't get down in a squat suit with a narrow stance. So I had to widen it up to be able to do that. But in so doing, all of a sudden I had no knee pain because I shifted the weight from my knees to my hips and put all the weight into my hips and all of a sudden I'm engaging my glutes and hamstrings. And that about that time I went down to Gold's to train one day and Tom Platz comes up and he's like, why do you squat like that? With the wide stance with a low bar? And I told him because I evolved. And he just didn't even know what to say to me because I started out doing it like him with the squat shoes and the heels and basically like a the way you squat for Olympic lifting, an Olympic squat, because that's how he trained for, like, with Olympic lifters. But it worked for him, but because he's a genetic freak.
Yeah.
But like I said, until I widened up my stance and went flat shoes and really shifted the weight into my hips, all my squatting was all quads. And I had like huge quads. I squatted 700 pounds narrow before that. But then when I changed my stance, in 1 year, I went from 705 to 820 on the squat. And that was the most I ever squatted that year. But yeah, and I already had the quads. So now what I do is I kind of mix it up. I'll do one workout, which is like more focused on quads, and I'll do like pendulum squats followed by hacks. And then sometimes I'll do the belt squat really wide to hit the hamstrings on that workout. And then another workout, I'll do like regular squats with a transformer bar, because I can't get my shoulder back for the straight bar. Either that or I'll do the Roger squat. And those I'll go a little bit wider. And on those days, I really feel it my hamstrings and glutes because it's wider stance. So I think my legs are pretty balanced now, but they weren't. For the first 20 years of training, it was very quad dominant. So it's just a matter of those little tweaks.
Yeah.
Someone said I became weaker with a wide stance. Well, if you got weaker with a wide stance, then you probably just didn't do it right, and you didn't do it long enough. If you're used to squatting with a narrow stance and you go to a wide stance, yeah, it's gonna feel off until you get good at it. Like I didn't develop my quads, my glutes and hamstrings from squatting wider like overnight. It took a little while. But I didn't get weaker. I mean, I got stronger and I developed glutes and hamstrings. You gotta stick with something more than a couple times. Like I know a lot of people, I'll take them in the gym and they're squatting with a high bar and a narrow stance. And I change their squat position and they feel awkward with it because they're not used to it. But if you stick with it for a few months and get good at it and do it right, then yeah, you'll get stronger. So that's just a matter of learning to do the movements. You can't change your stance and after you've been doing something for 20 years or however long and expect the next day to be stronger.
Yeah,
you gotta
people
adapt.
Always want, it is no patience.
Yeah.
You want to get into what else do we have? Or you want to get into the questions that
Let's talk about the Derek Lundsford is jumping into Pittsburgh, so that really shakes things up. I said it last week. I said he's going to do it. Right. Remember, he did that teaser, and I said I don't think he's messing around. He wouldn't say that if he wasn't serious, and sure enough, he's doing it. So he's doing it. Now you got Nick and Martin, and now we've also got
Good Vito,
and Crizzo. Yeah,
it's nasty. Yeah.
So
this is wild. Yeah.
That's going to be a really good lineup, but bets are all over the place. I honestly think Derek has the advantage. If he comes in looking, which I expect him to look the same as the Arnolds, I don't think anybody's going to get ahead of him.
Do you think Crizzo can beat Nick Walker?
I don't think he's huge, but proportionally, I don't think he's as big because he's tall.
Yeah, I think I don't know because I think he could look way different than last year. If he looks like he did, probably not. But I think he could look way better.
And I from the back, I don't see him having the backside to beat Nick. I don't think proportionally. I mean, we know Nick's going to be huge and shredded, most likely. You know, Nick's only problem is his midsection. But the problem, it's not like it's that bad, But when he's standing next to Martin and Derek, who both can pull vacuums, and he has such a tiny waist, Derek does, that his front double bicep just looks crazy. Now Nick's front doubles look crazy too as well, but it's just a different look.
Yeah.
From the side, I think Nick probably dominates from the side everybody from the side poses, just thickness. From the back, I don't know. I don't see him beating Derek. And honestly, I don't. I have Nick. I don't want to sound like a hater or anything because I'm not. I actually like Nick, and I wish the best for him. But I think he's going to get third.
Yeah, it could be.
I think it's going to be Derek and then Martin. And Martin's put on some size, so I mean, there's a chance that Martin could get ahead of Derek. But I don't think if Derek comes in looking like he did at the Arnold, I don't see it.
I can't find it. There was a video, and it was photoshopped so well with AI. They photoshopped Nick's waist in, and maybe this is it. I think I found it. Okay, this is a little crazy, but this would be Nick's body. It's just photoshopped. So it's like his lats are just as wide. Nothing
You're gonna
else
put it
is
up?
like. Yeah, I'm going to put it up. I'm just saying before you see it, nothing is enhanced or so. Because you would think that if you look at it, because it makes such a huge difference. Look at this. Oh, no, it's here. That's 21.
Well, that's photoshopped. You can totally see that's photoshopped.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the rest of the body is not enhanced. They're not enhancing the arm size. They're not enhancing the leg size. It was just that the waist was like way tighter. But just imagine.
Yeah, but his waist is like 4 inches smaller there.
Yeah, but just imagine, just look what 4 inches do. If it would be 2 inches, it would still be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true. But
can do.
But you can't just.
No, of course not. I'm just saying. Because when you look at him, you'll be like, oh, his quads don't have enough sweep, right? But with that waist, his quads look sweepy.
Let's look at some of the updates they posted with Nick.
Yeah.
And Good Vito. And I don't know if Derek's posted any updates. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Okay, I got Nick pulled up. Nick Walker. Yeah. Big waist. 8 minutes ago. We're right on time.
At least he's hiking up his shorts a little bit so you can start to see some of his legs.
Man's physique.
See, I don't know why lately he's been covering up his legs. Well, I don't know why he does that because he has good legs.
I don't know. Maybe he wants to tease it. There you go. Whoa.
Yeah, his legs.
There he's like pretty fat though. Like for him, not fat, but look at his face. I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, they might be improved. Maybe they're improved. It wasn't posted that long ago, but I think 6 days. Leg press is king, he said. So, okay. Wide. 7 days ago. Yeah, but he has to bring it in now. He really has to bring it in now. How long is it? 8 weeks? Something like that?
No,
7?
it's like six weeks, right?
Well, he has to bring it now. There's still something to lose here. If this is just current, yeah. Well, I'm excited for everyone, but yeah, like you said, I guess.
Now Martin posted a posing video the other day. It said 6.5 weeks out, but it turns out that video was from Prague last year.
Yeah.
That wasn't current.
Yeah.
I thought because he said 6.5 weeks out, that meant like now, and he looked crazy shredded. But that was actually not the truth.
But the caption said we're going to beat that in 6.5 weeks. And that was referring to his last showing. And so I figured, okay, this can't be right now. It also looked like a few days out. So if it would look like that 6.5 weeks out, that would be very early. I mean, maybe he could have held it, but that'd be very early. But that looked crazy itself, right? You were like already like excited, right? And see,
he looked nuts.
That was last time. That was last time you like, and you thought it was now. So I think, and if he could improve just a tad, I think.
Well, they say he's 20 pounds bigger right now.
I think he's going to beat Nick Walker because I don't think, and this is just my estimation. Don't hate me for it. Like I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. But I think Nick Walker is not going to get much better than last year. But I think Martin's going to be way better than last year. So, and last year was close at the New York Pro. So, like with that kind of calculation, I see Martin beating Nick.
Nick's got to come with the flattest waist ever to have a chance.
And peeled out his money.
Right.
Yeah.
So
if he's trying to be the biggest guy, like he is anyways, like, but I mean, I think his new coach, he seems like a clever guy. I watched the podcast with him. He's not stupid. Like if he doesn't do that, unless, I don't know how Nick is, right? If he's like, no, I got to load more. I got to carb up more. I don't, sometimes you're a coach and you tell your client, this is how we do it. And the client's like, no, I know it better. I'm going to do this. Sometimes you have that and you're like, oh my God. And then he steps on stage and they're going to blame me,
If I had a client like that, I wouldn't work with them.
Yeah.
There's no way.
True.
I'm not going to, because I'm not going to tell somebody something that, huh?
Yeah. I would still work with Nick Walker. But
not if he's not going to listen, because what's the point?
But what are you going to do if he starts pulling that one day out? What are you going to do? Are you going to say I'm not going to work with you? I mean,
well, he did that with Dominic Cardone.
Yeah,
and Dominic.
So you can say
Dominic dropped him because Nick wouldn't listen.
Yeah, that's what you can do, of course. But if it's one day before the show, you'll just pull through and then be like,
well, I don't know about one day out. You better have a pretty good relationship before that point.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I did have a guy years ago. He's going for his first shot at the USA's, and literally right before we left to go to Vegas, he was going to compete as a middleweight, and he goes, "I have to be a bantamweight," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're already shredded. You're a middleweight." He goes, "No, I have to be a bantamweight," and I'm like, "No, you don't. Like, you're already ready. Like, there's nothing left to do. We're leaving. We're driving to Vegas. Weigh-ins tomorrow." He just didn't drink. He lost like 10 pounds on the drive up there from Ventura to Vegas. And he actually did weigh in as a bantamweight. But this guy he got so in his head. We were at weigh-ins, which was like the day before. And he's looking at everybody. And he's like, "Oh, they're so huge." I'm like, "Dude, these guys, that's a super heavy." He was pointing to Patrick Moore when that's when Patrick won the USA. I'm like, "That dude's a super heavyweight. You're not a super heavyweight. You're not competing against him. Like, stop it." He just like lost his fucking mind. And I get this was many years ago. If it was now, I would be like, "Dude, just chill the fuck out and stop."
Yeah.
You just need to stop because he just lost. He went when he was ready, peeled, and everything, and then he didn't actually get worse. Even he weighed in his bantamweight, but he was still peeled, and I think he would even done. He ended up taking like 5th, which wasn't too bad for his first USA's, but he would have done better. But in his posing routine on prejudging, they called 30 seconds. He turned around and he was going to hit his back lat spread, which is his best shot. They called 30 seconds and he walked off stage in the middle of his routine. And my friend was a judge there, and she looked at me like what the fuck just happened? And I was like, I don't know. And then I talked to him after. I'm like, why did you walk off? And he's like, they called time. I'm like, no, they didn't. They called 30 seconds. And you still had plenty of time. Even if they called time, you could still hit your back lat spread, which is your best shot, and even another pose before you walk off. He was just so in his head. Yeah, Chris Aguilar is one of my guys from my gym. And you remember Mark. Yeah, dude, he lost it the day before the show. Just totally lost it his head.
Yeah.
Now,
it's
I
also,
don't know. That was like,
I feel a lot
like
of guys lose it. Like just before the show, they're like, dude, just 12 more hours. Just keep it together. And they like muffin, or something, like they go overboard. They're backstage, they see some cake, and they're like, boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God, bro, just 10 more hours, just keep it together. And you see it all the time. They're stuffing their faces. I'm like, bro, you did a 4 months prep, and now 10 hours, like 5 hours. You can't hold it together 5 hours anymore. Shit,
dude,
man.
I did that when I was 18 years old. I
Yeah.
won the USAs, and then I went to Team America, and they had weigh-in the day before at in this hotel room. And I don't know why they did it the day before, but anyways, they did it. And Sean Ray went right before me, and he took off his tracksuit to weigh in. And I looked at him, I was like, oh shit. He was so thick and round and just deep separation. And I was
So you lost it and carved up.
and I thought to myself, I need to be bigger. I need to be bigger. So I ate a bunch of oatmeal, and by the next day I was just watery. And we didn't have diuretics back then. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a lady with me. My mom's friend was with us, and she had Diazide for her heart condition, and she asked me if I wanted one because I was holding all this water, and I didn't know what it was.
Shit. If you had
I didn't know what it was. She asked me if I wanted a Diazide. I should have fucking took that thing, but I woke up the next morning all waterlogged, and it was just too late.
You know what I found crazy? So I watched the Menace podcast the other day with Flex Wheeler and Chris Cormier, and they were talking, obviously, with Dennis James, and they were talking about mistakes they made. And I'm like, Flex, dude, you were like 30, 35 years old back then. Like, what the hell? He just took some diuretic he didn't know. Like, someone gave it to him and he just took it. And then he had like some stomach cramps and all kinds of stuff. Like, all the time. He was like, oh, yeah, just like, he told me to take it. I'll just took it. It was just done like that. And I'll just took it. And this guy just handed me this diuretic, and it seemed to be whatever he's called a triple pathway or something. And then I just took it, and it messed me up. It's like they just get stuff handed and just taking it.
Well, Chad
back
Nichols
then with 18, you were so clever that because actually it was the right call. Like, because it was a Diazide, it would have helped you. It could have been anything, right? You don't know what it was, so you better not take it.
Right.
Like, that's just how you do it. You just not take something from someone that you never heard before, even if it could be right. You just like, don't do that, And they were
Chad
just
Nichols,
like, oh, let's go.
Chad Nichols used to bring his competitors this thing of powder, and it was a mix of some kind of diuretics, and also it had quinine sulfate in it for the anti-cramping. But he had it crushed into like a powder, and he would just give them this powder. It wasn't even a pill. They didn't even know what it was. It was just a powder, and he'd be like, take this. And they all took it. Yeah,
they trusted him. Yeah.
They didn't even know what it was. And I don't know why he made it into a powder. Maybe it's so it absorbed faster. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I do that a bunch of times with tablets, that I chew on them and then put them under the tongue. So they because sometimes I feel like they sit in my stomach for too long, and I want them to act. So I try to dissolve everything, and usually everything's better absorbed sublingually.
I do all oral sublingual.
Yeah.
All orals, I just put them under the tongue and let them dissolve.
Yeah. So I bite on them, put him under the tongue a little bit. Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine was working with Chad back in the, I want to say it was late 90s, early 2000. And he was doing a show and he gave him Demodex, which is apparently is a really strong diuretic.
Mm-hmm.
He had him taking that and some other stuff right before the show.
I don't know. Like, a lot of people still do aldactone all the time. I'm just like very basic. I'm not destroying my kidneys for shits. I just like Diazide is okay, and
back in the, I want to say in like the 80s, that was like a protocol that we did. You'd start the aldactone like 7 days out, and then at the end you'd put in whatever kind of diuretic at the end. Whether it was Lasix or whatever we had. I know it started with aldactone for a week, and then another diuretic at the very end, the last day.
I mean, back in the day, they were not eating salt for 3 weeks out, stuff like that. I mean,
my first prep, what I did when I was 16, Mike Sable had me drinking distilled water and eating no salt. And it was so paranoid of salt that I had to eat with paper plates and plastic utensils, because if you got any sodium in you, it'd ruin you. And
so dumb.
I was shredded, but I was flat, Yeah,
of course.
But back then, shredded beat even if you're flat, because no one else was shredded, so it still won.
Okay, yeah. Well, still won, but yeah, but if you would do that for too long time, like no salt and then aldactone on top and everything, like.
Well, do you see those pictures when I was 18 when I won the USA?
No.
Yeah, the black and whites.
I just had pictures, but not from the stage. Oh, no. Yes, I do. Wait a second. I can pull them up. They should be still in my email.
Yeah, there's black and whites from when I was 18 when I won the USAs.
Yeah. I'll just try to search my emails. Larry photo. Larry teen bodybuilding photos. Come on. Where is it? Oh, I got it. I pull it up. People might see your. No, I don't even think you can see your address. Oh wait, can I? Yeah, I can share the screen, not only the tab. Share screen. Share entire screen. Boom. See it?
Yep. Okay, so for that competition, this is no bullshit. The ones on the left are from the teen nationals. That's where I was holding the water, but the ones with the black and whites were from the USAs.
That's you?
Yeah, that's where I was holding the water.
Yeah, your face looks way bigger.
Yeah, that's where I eat that oatmeal. That was just a few months later.
Yeah, that's a real oatmeal physique.
Yeah.
Nice.
But on that, for that prep there, this is no bullshit. For a 1 month, I did only thing I ate was red snapper and lettuce and drank distilled water for a month. And I lived on fast and diet pills and Trenbolone. Trenbolone is the only thing that I took for that show. I took straight Trenbolone and training cardio twice a day and just like starving to death.
Crazy.
I mean, I was
right now I'm doing cardio twice a day too. So I train, I do cardio, I pose, and at 4 usually I come back, do cardio and pose. Sometimes I do abs and calves and cardio and pose, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm grinding. I'm grinding.
What kind of cardio are you doing?
Diced. I only do bike. I don't want to tax my legs. So
I was going to say that too much cardio will shrink your legs.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm only doing my bike. If I see my legs shrink, which they used to, I used to be not able to do too much cardio, but my legs keep the size right now. It's all good. I'm also trying these tomorrow. I'm trying these. Oh, man, what are they called? Let me find them. These boots, these recovery boots.
Someone said there's a rift between Martin and Fuad. That's why he's not doing Detroit.
Really? But Martin just signed up with Hostile just not too long ago.
Not too long ago.
Yeah. Norma Tech,
I don't know.
They're called.
What's that?
Norma Tech. Have you heard of them?
No, what is that?
Let me look on videos. Oh yeah, here. It's pretty good. Watch on Instagram. Okay, I'll show that. Share screen. Okay. It's going to take a second. But this is the recovery boots. Normatec boots are in. Oh, is it that? Okay, they keep going. Yeah, so like the bike riders all use that stuff.
Oh, I see. I've seen those.
So, my massage therapist has them. So he's going to bring it to the gym tomorrow and just going to hook me up in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there's a cheap version at Costco that he said is basically the same, but instead of $600 or $800, it's like $200 or something. I have to look that up.
And what is it supposed to do for you?
Speed up your recovery and drain your lymphs.
You know, I've used them at expos. I've tried them on. I just didn't know what exactly it did.
How did it feel?
I mean, at the expo when I used them, it felt good, but I don't know. I couldn't tell if it did anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing. I got this little TENS. It's kind of like a TENS unit back massager thing at the Arnold, and that thing is great. I put it on my back when it gets tight for like 10 minutes, and I turn it on the setting, and my back pain is gone.
Wow.
And I bought it there because I was walking around the expo. My back was tight as shit from walking. And I put it on and I sat there for like 10 minutes and gone. Thing worked great. Someone said, what rumor is that? He's on the pod with Fuad all the time. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about any problem with
where did you hear it from, though?
What's that?
Where did you hear it from? Because you said you heard it, that there was something going on.
No, someone just posted it on our comments. Okay. RV Flex.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know.
Oh,
but
so I just found something on Amazon. Renfolek massager. They say it does the same. I asked Grok, the X AI, if there's alternatives, and he even says, tells me why the cheaper versions also work. Doesn't need a big brand. Great. Says compression says 6 to 100 minimal HG whatever AIDS recovery. Affordable boots hit that mark. The trade-off: less polish, no fever zones. But for your friends' 90-minute workouts or hypertrophy goals, they'll still get the job done. Nice. I mean, that's crazy. For like 130 instead of 800, there you go.
For 130,
Amazon. For 130,
on Amazon.
I don't like even if they don't work. Okay, like 130, that's worth the try. That's worth, and you can probably even get them back. Take it.
And you're supposed to put them on after leg training.
Yes, I would always with that stuff wait a little bit, so I would do it on the same day if you trained it in the morning, but with massages and training I wouldn't do it right after. So I don't mean that night. Yeah, but yeah, after legs, but just in general for me, when I'm doing so much cardio, I think that's a great tool to have my legs recover a little faster. I mean, I'm using the massage gun and whatever I have right now, but why not?
Honestly, on leg day, I have these muscle relaxers, and I swear those are a game changer. They're prescription.
Okay.
And because I used to train legs, and every single leg session, no matter how much I hydrated or what I ate or anything, I would get the worst cramps that night after training legs. Mm-hmm. I mean, horrible. Like all my quads and hamstrings locking up at the same time, trying to get to the toilet. It'd just be terrible. And I had this forever and ever. And then I got these muscle relaxers from my doctor, and I only use them on leg day. But man, I take one right after leg training, and I did get it last week after legs. I got a real gnarly cramp in my hamstring, but for the most part, I don't get cramps after leg training, no matter how hard I go. They definitely make a huge difference, and I think they help me recover better too, because usually my legs are just, even the next day, they're still destroyed. And that night, like, I'm able to sleep good. Usually after leg training, I was so hurting and couldn't sleep that like the next day I'm still beat the shit up. But with a muscle relaxer, I'm able to eat and go to sleep, and I'm much better even the next day as far as recovery. So just a tip for the guys. I know a lot of people smoke pot. I got to be honest with you, the smoking pot did not do the same thing for me as a muscle relaxer, except I felt high and a little hungover the next day. But the muscle relaxer it's a game changer. I can't think of what the name of them was. I have them though, but little orange pills. But I've been using them for about like the last year after leg training. I don't use them on any other day, by the way, only after leg training, because I don't really need them for upper body. I don't get cramps. All right.
Wow. So I just have to tell you, man, I found one for $76, and it has good ratings too. It has 1,000 ratings, 4.2 stars. And
these are the compression things you put on your legs?
Yeah. And Grok, the Twitter AI, I mean, you can't believe him everything, but he said they're just as good. Wow. They're called Neck Tech with CK. So NEKTECK. Jesus, I'm going to get it. It's going to deliver on Saturday.
So you have to try it and let us know next week how it worked for you.
Yeah, I will. So want to get into the questions we got?
Yeah, let's see.
I haven't pulled up. Maybe I got some more.
Most of the questions were about the shows, basically, because that's what we're talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit on the PED situation. I can tell you that since we talked last week about the China being shut down, I've heard from many different people that most all the sources are out of raws. A lot of people reached out to me after last week's show and said, yeah, nobody has raws right now. And the prices are already going up. Like, prices have already doubled and tripled just since last week. I don't know if it's because we announced it or what the deal is, but yeah, a lot of people I spoke to after last week's podcast, there's no raws anywhere. So a friend of mine
said something actually pretty positive. He said he knows a ton of people. He's been at Goldstream for like 20 years too. And he said, yeah, there's a shortage and everything, but he says it's going to be, his sources all say it's going to be okay. In a month, they're going to get the raws back in. So he says it's temporary, and it's going to be resolved soon. I don't know
if they shut down the factories. How's that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just temporarily shut down. I don't know how shut down they were. If maybe they just like shut them down to get that unit where that's produced, to take that down. Could be. I'm not sure. I don't know any more than what I just told you. That's just what he said.
But how does he know?
He said he knows a ton of people, and I believe him. He knows a ton of people. I don't know if they're legit people, but I know he knows a ton of people.
Yeah, I know a ton of people too, and the people that I know, all I know is they haven't been able to get any Raws since November. So
since November.
November, yes.
Whoa.
Didn't just happen last week. This is since November.
Oh,
they haven't been able to get any Raw since November.
Yeah.
This has been going on. This is before Trump even got in. Yeah, they're back ordered since last November. So I'm not sure, like, I don't know if your friend has good information. I know I have Chinese connections directly in China. And some of them, I don't believe them because they'll tell you anything. Yeah, everything's going to be fine.
That might be. Yeah, that might be. That's why. Yeah, why he thinks that.
But right now they can't get anything. So
I'm gonna have to ask him. Okay, I have the questions pulled up too.
Somebody said I have 1 gram of raw GH powder, lympholyzed. Have you homebrewed your own GH? What do you mean homebrew your GH powder? The fuck's he talking about?
That makes no sense.
Your GH, you just mix it with water. What do you mean you have 1 gram of raw GH powder? How fuck do you have a gram of?
How much is a gram of GH powder? I don't know how much.
10 milligrams usually is in a bottle, right?
I think it depends on which GH, but isn't like 6 milligrams 18 units of somatropin, for example?
Yeah, I mean the one I get is like 10 milligrams in a bottle.
So that would mean, like, am I wrong? He has like.
He's saying he has a gram of raw GH powder lympholyzed. How do you have a gram lympholyzed? That's
1,000 milligrams. That's 3,000 units.
So that'd be a big giant bottle of GH.
Who knows?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what you got, but I don't think it's GH.
I think he's asking about bottling because
I mean, what do you mean? How do you get a gram of lympholyzed GH? It would have to be in a bottle that they suck all the air out. It would be a big giant pellet like this fucking big.
And he's wondering how to distribute that without ruining it into other smaller vials.
You can't. And I don't even believe whatever you got, it's probably not GH. GH doesn't come like that.
He just bought a gram of creatine for $3,000.
Yeah, you got some bullshit there. Sorry, dude.
He's mixing the creatine with some back.
If your GH is real, it's like in a pellet and it's pressurized. And one way you can tell the GH is real is when you put the syringe in with the water, it sucks the air into the bottle, and you have to add it like a couple cc's of air so it's not pressurized anymore. Otherwise, it squirts out all over the fucking place when you try to draw it out. So yeah, I don't know what you got there, but probably not GH. Yeah. I've never seen anything come like that, and you can't compound your own GH. Sorry. A gram of dandruff. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. I mean, I've compounded pretty much everything, but not GH. You can't. You can't do it like that. It has to come already, in the bottle, ready to go. Yeah. So we don't have the technology to do that yourself in your house or wherever you're doing that. I had the hardest time making Winstrol injectable when I had my lab. I mean, I tried it with everything. I tried it with that stinky fucking oil. What is that stuff called? Acyl oleate. Smell like rotten eggs. Mm-hmm. But I just could not get that stuff to. You know how the old I don't. Probably this is before your time, but they had these Zambons. They were like little vials. They came from I think they came from France or somewhere, and they were injectable GH in water, and they were so smooth and no cramp. I mean, no abscess or nothing like that. Didn't irritate or anything. I don't know how the fuck they did that, because I tried for years to make good Winstrol injectable, and it would just always sink to the bottom, and the crystals were too big. I think you have to have it ultra what is the word, micronized, and I think I even ordered it micronized, and I still could not get it in water to be like the Zambon. It always crashed. The Winstrol always crashed. Maybe I was trying to dose it too high. I think the Winstrol injectable came only 50 milligrams, but I think I even tried to do it 50 milligrams, and still it didn't come out right. And then I tried to do that ethyl oleate stuff, and the stuff stinks so bad. Plus, I don't think I'd want to inject that stuff. It smells like rotten eggs. It just can't be good for you. Have you ever smelled that stuff?
No.
It's a solvent that people were using to put in stuff in solution back then. And people tried putting the Winstrol powder into oil, and that didn't work either. It sunk to the bottom. It just didn't stay suspended in solution.
I had Winstrol in oil, and it was good. It didn't sink to the bottom, but when, like, after a while it did. So the second vial I didn't use, that did. But the other one, when I used it up, it was good. So maybe it can hold for a while. It seemed like it could in there. I would have to find out what they put in there.
Someone said mix it with DMSO. Yeah, but then you'd have to rub it on yourself. I don't think you can inject DMSO.
I think so.
You can inject DMSO. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think so. Let's get into some questions, huh? There was a question about supplements that increase protein retention, nitrogen retention, or peptides. I mean, something like everything that increases nitrogen retention is protein, or leucine. So your favorite HMB would do that, and but everything with protein would do that. So I don't think there's any extra supplement besides HMB. Supplement-wise, peptide-wise, there are, I think, AOD to a degree, AOD 9604. I don't even know. Does growth hormone increase protein retention, nitrogen retention?
I don't think it does directly, but the fact that
I don't think so either.
The fact that you can absorb your food a little bit better, I think in that regard it would probably help. Yeah, I definitely did. It helps you recover, so there's got to be something going on there.
It does. It does. GH boosts the uptake of amino acids into the muscle cells and ramps up protein synthesis.
So yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's why when I take my GH pre-workout, I take it with during my intra workout, I take essential aminos, extra glutamine, creatine. I put that all in my intra workout, and I drink that throughout my training session, and it makes a difference.
But like in regards to mTOR, which is kind of like the most anabolic factor we have in terms of boosting nitrogen retention, just because when you read 4 grams of leucine will maximally boost mTOR, and you think then I just zip on leucine all day, I think there's just a certain amount of times mTOR can actually be hit a day. It's not like you can just endlessly have it.
I'll tell you something that I actually do. I had this theory I was thinking about a long time ago. If you had an IV going straight into you that would feed you aminos and nutrients all day long, you would never be catabolic because you'd be constantly feeding yourself aminos. And obviously, it's not realistic to go walking around with an IV stuck in you all day long. But what I do is I make this drink every day. It's 1.5 gallons in a Stan Efferdine cooler. And I put in there just 10 grams of aminos, a big scoop of glutamine, like a protein scooper, like 30 grams, some salt. It's a mineral salt, an emergency pack, a couple of these flavoring packs that are with stevia. I put in there creatine, 10 milligrams of creatine, and D-aspartic acid, 1 scoop of that. And I put it in this 1.5 gallons, and I just drink that all day.
Yeah.
Like I drink it with every meal, and like in between, whenever I'm thirsty, I just drink that. And I usually finish about 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons a day. So like constantly throughout the day, I'm just have this influx. And I don't know if it necessarily works, but I feel like, there's times when, I'm probably not eating every 2 hours like I should be.
Yeah.
Because I'm busy or whatever. But if I just drink that through the day, I'm getting a little aminos in me throughout the day. So I feel like that helps.
Yeah, but in that case, I would agree, because when you don't feed yourself enough, yeah, sure. But if you feed yourself enough, it's not like you eat protein and then for 5 minutes you have enough amino acids in the blood, and after that it's gone. Like, you need to digest them. So if you feed yourself enough protein at a time, and like
if you're eating protein every 2 to 3 hours, I think you're fine.
Yeah, then it's the same like having an IV, because you don't, like, it's still constant, because you don't break down the protein instantly, and then you're 2 hours off protein, and then you eat it.
Again, there's times when I'll get busy working and I'll go 6-7 hours.
That's
I'm not without eating something, because I'm just busy. So that I'll just be drinking that through the day.
Yeah. Or you just drink the shake in between. You could do that too. It's just,
honestly, these things I got at the, I got to show you these. I got these at the Arnold, and now I ordered them. I'm carrying in my gym.
Oh Lord,
they're so freaking good, unbelievably good. These little protein cookies
from Skippy.
No, they're made with oatmeal and peanut butter and whey protein, whey isolate.
Wow, so like
they're gluten free, and they taste unbelievably good, and there's no junk in them. And look at this thing; it's like this is a half-eaten piece, but
can't see it. You have to put it in front of your face. Yeah, then you see it.
Yeah, it's thick too. Yeah. They're really unbelievably good, and they don't mess with my stomach at all. Most protein bars, they have too many. What are those things in them? That all the different flavoring shit that just
and the alcohols and the polyalcohols.
The sugar alcohols, and it makes you shit. Yeah. These don't have any of that in it.
I can eat one a day, man. If I eat too much.
Somebody asked about ozone therapy. Well, I'll tell you this. Last year, I was doing a hyperbolic chamber at a real place, and I did it. I think I was doing it 5 days a week for. I did it for like 4 months straight, and it did help. And I'm eligible to do it again this year, so I'm probably going to sign up for it soon. The only problem with it is literally like 5 days a week, I have to go in the morning early and just go lay in this chamber for an hour. And, between driving over there and getting in the chamber and getting out and getting dressed, it was like a 2-hour ordeal out of my day. And during that hour, you can't have your phone, or you can't do anything. So you just have to like lay in there and do that. But I did it. Yeah, I did it for 4 months, and I definitely think it definitely helped. And my doctor just told me I'm eligible for it again, so I'm going to do it. And a lot of people going there were for like all kinds of different things. I was the only one going there for the Crohn's. They said I was the first one. They were doing it to try it out. But yes, I have done it, and I'm going to do it again. It'd be nice to have one at my house, but that it's a pretty expensive thing to do. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those.
No, haven't. But I know a lot of bike riders do that too, when they can't afford it or they have a sponsor, doing that for them.
There's
We
ozone
still,
rectal
yeah.
insufflations. You can get your own kit. What is that? You put it up your ass?
Oh, okay.
Huh. I don't know anything about that. I just know about the hyperbolic chamber. I don't know about putting ozone up my ass. I'm not so sure about that, but
well, we still have to go about the classic pro cycle we talked about, because someone was asking what my lab rat is on. So my lab rat takes 700 primo, no test. But first it was 500 primo and
is this off season or pre-contest?
That's pre-contest.
Okay.
So it was 280 test, and then 1 week out it's going to be taken out. 280 test and 500 primo, and then 700 and no test, and 20 Tren Ace a day, and 350 Masteron a week, and no orals, nothing. Just the last few days, Winstrol at 37.5, and 20 milligrams of Superdrol the last 3 days. Because the Superdrol seems to, I can't get flat on it.
So repeat that cycle again.
20 Ace a day, for the last week. Okay, let's kick out the last week, because who cares about the last week? No one's going to do a last week. So then it's 500, 490 primo, 280 test, because it's 0.4 of a 200 test every other day, and then 350 Masteron, and that's it. And then in the last 7 days, orals come in, and then the last 2 days, the Superdrol comes in. So we're just Winstrol and Superdrol.
Which orals do you take the last 7 days?
Winstrol I take 37.5. And then last 2 days, Superdrol.
And how long are you running the first part of the cycle for?
The 280 and primo and Masteron?
Yeah.
Good question. 6 weeks. And before I wasn't on Masteron, that was just test and primo. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty, I think it's pretty low. I asked some other guys what they were taking last weekend. They all take more. But yeah. I feel like it's enough. I don't think it look any better.
You said you had 40 milligrams of Tren?
Tren. Yeah.
When do you put that in?
Every day.
When?
Oh,
when?
That was probably just 4 weeks ago. Now 5. Yeah.
Okay. And what about AIs?
AI didn't need it, because with the primo and the 280 test. So I know on 350 test and 700 primo, my estrogen is 23. So when I lowered the test to 280 and the primo to 500, 490, I know that my estrogen is still pretty low. And then 1 week out, I also take out the test, so that's going to go lower, and I up the primo even. So there's actually no, my estrogen has to be 20 or lower.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize, but back in the 80s, bodybuilders didn't use tests really in their preps. They just used straight anabolics.
Wow.
Who was it? I can't think of. Somebody recently posted their.
I just talked to Roland Kickinger. You know him?
Mm-hmm.
Austrian pro in the 90s, really big guy.
I know who he is.
Said he almost never used tests too.
No,
almost never used test.
They didn't. They used just anabolics. No one used tests back then in their preps.
But that even in he was in the 90s. He didn't use tests. Nandrolone and Primo and Anavar and Winstrol and D-ball, but yeah, I think he said he hated D-ball though. But yeah,
I can't remember who it was, but one of the top pros from back then, he went for his whole prep. He just ran one compound of anabolic total.
I don't know.
I know.
I know Tom Platt said something wild. He said, "I take 20 milligrams of Winstrol and 100 Deca a week," and that was his whole contest prep cycle. I don't know what kind of Winstrol that was.
Okay, well, I can tell you with Mike Menser, we took 300 milligrams of NPP 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So that's 900 milligrams a week.
And Tom Platt's got the biggest legs on the planet with 100 Deca a week. Very impressive.
I don't really buy that.
Me neither.
I want to call anybody a liar, but I will say the fact that Mike Menser came before Platts and he was doing 900 milligrams a week of NPP, I find it. I don't believe Tom Platts went that low. Maybe he did run only Winstrol and Deca.
Yeah,
that could be true, but I probably at a higher dosage than that.
Yeah, I think so too. Think he might. Yeah, maybe you forgot it. A zero. We don't know.
Yeah, or a couple of zeros. When do you start AIs and fat burners at what dose? Currently 500 milligrams tests. AIs,
you could have to take AI already. Like if you're dieting and you have a 80 estrogen, I would bring it down to at least 40. And then at the end, you want to bring it down to like 20 or lower, 20, 15, 10. Maybe.
Well, I can tell you myself, I run like 400 tests a week and 200 of NPP. And I take Aromacin 3 times a week, 12.5 milligrams. And that keeps my estrogen in normal range. And I'm not on contest prep. That's just because I don't want to have high estrogen. Without it, my estrogen goes high. Now, when I was younger, it didn't get as high. For whatever reason, it's higher now. And I even took more tests back then, way more.
So AY, you're 9 weeks out, and you're starting about fat burners and what dosages. Currently 500 tests. So it really depends on you. If you're a high converter, like you should be taking AI already.
You got to go with your blood. You got to get blood work, dude. You got to get your blood work, and you got to see where your estrogen is, and then you see how much AI you need to bring it into normal range without crashing it completely. Now, I will say, at the end of the prep, like the last week, I'll intentionally crash my estrogen, and I do it with my competitors too. Just the last week. You don't want to stay like that because it's not healthy. But I'll crash the estrogen with letrozole the last week before the show because that will dry you out for sure.
I don't crash it too much. I know it should be low anyways. And then last week I have an anastrozole drops, which is awesome because you can take tiny amounts. And I'm like, let's be safe. So I took like 0.1 every day. Just, because like I feel when I have no estrogen, because when I have no estrogen, I start cramping. When it's way too crashed, I cramp. And so I know, like, if I feel a little crampy, okay, I know, like, it's freaking out. And I know that because that's also a point where the last week I take out the clenbuterol and anything else that would make me cramp. So if you're cramping and you think it's your estrogen, it could be, if you take clenbuterol, it could be that, of course.
Right.
And for that, actually, taurine helps pretty well. And
I take taurine 2,000 milligrams a day, normal.
Yeah,
me
too.
1,000 in the morning, 1,000 at night, normal.
With that. Yeah, I take about 5 grams. Yeah.
Yeah, not even contest. Just normally, I just take 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 at night.
Every day. It's my morning shake with my digestive enzyme stuff, and and my morning vitamins and all that stuff, I have a kilogram of taurine. 1 scoop is 5. I put 1 scoop because I also read a study where it said that there was a group with 5 grams of taurine and a group without, and they kept their sperm and their fertility up way more in their own production. So I'm like, and it helps with the cramps. It helps. It's good. It's a good supplement. So and it's dirt cheap. You get a kilogram, like 2 pounds, 2.1 pound, whatever, of taurine for like $15, and it lasts you so long. So this is a no-brainer.
I've been doing the capsules. Maybe I'll have to do like you're getting in the kilogram.
Yeah. I'll show you that. Yeah, you get a kilogram of powder. It's crazy. And you take 2 grams, so you take half a scoop. This lasts forever. The fat burners, fat burners that are non-stimulants, I've been taking cardarine. I would say Moxie, you could call a fat burner because it enhances your metabolism, your glucose uptake abilities. So I have been taking SLUPP 332, which also apparently helps with kidneys, which is great. So those fat burners you could take whenever. If you're like super fat, there's no point in taking them because you should like, if you start struggling, if it gets harder to lose fat, then like whatever. I don't know. It depends on where you start too. If you start your diet at 20% body fat, that's shitty, but okay. And then maybe at 12 or so, they should come in, or they could come in. Technically, you don't need any. You can get shredded without anything. Like that's possible. There's natural guys coming shredded all the time. How do they do it? So it's possible. It's harder though. And I like the non-stimulant fat burners that I just mentioned. Clenbuterol I feel is for the last 2% of body fat, 2 to 3% of body fat. I wouldn't take it before. And then there's still ephedrine and aspirin and caffeine you can take.
And Yohimbe.
Exactly, I'm taking that too. Yeah, that's also what I do.
So I have my guys. They're running Clen for 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks off, and then the last 6 weeks for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to take
Ketotifen.
What?
Ketotifen.
Ketotifen,
whatever.
Yeah, you have to take ketotifen with it, or you build a tolerance to the Clen quickly. So the ketofen's taken at night before bed, the Clen's taken in the morning, and I still have them run it for 6 weeks, then take 6 weeks off, then the last 6 weeks again. And in between, when they're on the 6 weeks off of Clen, I'll have them run Yohimbe, because you're not supposed to run Yohimbe with Clen, because it can cause problems if you run them together. So basically they'll run the Clen for 6 weeks, then 6 weeks of Yohimbe, then 6 weeks of clenbuterol. The last 6 weeks.
Why does it cause problems together? I never heard
that. It's got something to do with it works through 2 different mechanisms, and they somehow counteract each other, and so then you build a tolerance to both faster. It basically, when you take the ketofen, it upregulates your beta receptors, and when you take the Clen, it downregulates your beta receptors. But if you take the Yohimbe with the Clen, it downregulates your beta receptors even faster. So then you build a tolerance to both things quicker. And the other thing is, it's supposed to be bad for your heart, taking both of them at the same time.
Okay, I just looked it up. I'm just saying what the internet is saying. It says they're not counteracting their effects, but they have overlapping mechanisms. So
yeah, it can be just too much on your heart.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just too much stress on your heart.
From that regard, I saw it, but I never heard the counteracting thing. But
no, the counteracting. What I mean by it, they downregulate your beta receptors, which Clen will do by itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're just taking too much.
Yeah. I see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're overstimulating yourself, and then your beta receptors downregulate so that because your body just doesn't want to be in a state of like, where your heart's going too fast and you could basically kill yourself. Yeah. So it intentionally downregulates your beta receptors. That's why you take the ketofen with it. It keeps the clen working longer.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about ketofen.
I have a good friend, and he was like always the greatest researcher. So I've known it forever.
I have too, but I'm just saying a lot of people don't know what it is.
That's true. Yeah. I knew
and
it.
Ketofen
before I ever thought of clen.
And a lot of people are fucking stupid cheap about the ketofen. They're like, they don't want to spend $60 on ketofen because they don't know what it is. But do you realize that it makes your clenbuterol work like 3 times better?
So you save on the clenbuterol because you don't have to take that much.
And the clenbuterol is way more expensive.
Yeah.
So you're better off spending the 60. You only take 1 tablet a night on the ketofen. So you spend $60 on the ketofen, and then your clenbuterol bill is like a third of what it would be. And it keeps working longer.
Yeah. I've had it as a liquid last time I used it.
Yes,
if you don't lose
I get it pharmaceutical tablets, like straight from the pharmacy.
Oh, that's great. Oh yeah, I bet if you have a chill doctor, they can prescribe it to you, and it's not even expensive.
No, I have it shipped from overseas.
Okay, because everything in tablets is usually super cheap. So
it comes in blister packs. They come in pharmaceutical grade.
Yeah,
I think I have.
So if you go on cusplusdrugs.com, which is where you can put in your prescriptions, so you have to have a legal prescription. But usually everything that's in tabs, they charge you 15% up from the manufacturing. Yeah, I found it. So ketotifen fumarate, 3 count, 5 ml, costs $25. So, and retail at other pharmacies would be $44, still not expensive. So like you can get it dirt cheap if you have a prescription for it.
I buy it from overseas, and it's like super cheap. I think it's like $1 a tab.
It's the same with the ephedrine bronchate. If you have a prescription for it, it could be 60 tabs because you're $15. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the prescription, obviously you shouldn't ever take it because your doctor didn't recommend it. Yeah, I think that's basically. I mean, oh yeah, I took GH, right? I'm still taking GH, 5 units. Let me think.
Do you cut out the GH before your show?
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say. So 2 weeks out, I did cut out the GH. I replaced it with HGH frag. So I only have the fat burning effect and not the water retention or the other effects. Because I wasn't in shape. So I still was trying to lose fat. So I still had that as a fat burning agent, but without the water retention. And I also feel better doing that because then I know what I look like and I don't have to guess how much is water. Yeah.
Do you find that you lose any fullness and roundness taking the GH out?
You know what? Usually I do. This time, not so much. A little bit, but almost nothing. But before I was like, whoa, I look like nothing. I can't even show up. But this time around, it's like, I don't know, pretty good. Maybe my GH is fake. But no, it's pretty good.
My only concern with the GH running into the show is trying to carb load with it on your stomach bloating. So I would cut it out.
Yeah, I cut it out because
I would cut it out at least a week before.
Yeah.
Just so you don't, your stomach doesn't bloat.
Yeah.
But you should be in shape, a week and a half out, so not needing to lose much fat at all. So
yeah, I'm late. But I think I'm really going to look good this time because when my arm gets like super peeled, I know I'm in there, and now my arms are getting super peeled. So, and my face is getting smaller, and I still have the GH in now, and the Clen also makes me hold water, which is still in, which is gonna come out in like 3 days.
When are you competing next?
In 9 days.
Mm.
Yep. Gonna be fun. Already signed up, booked everything. Yeah.
Where's this
Utah.
one?
Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to look way better. I can promise that. I'm going to look way better.
I've never gone to Utah for a show.
Yeah, we'll see. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty awesome. I might do that one again, but it's probably in a shitty. I don't know, but it's in a high school, so I don't know if that's the greatest venue, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's a pro show in a high school.
Yep.
Interesting.
Pro show in a high school. But you know, I had a pro show in not a high school, no, but in a theater before that looked like it was from a school, you know, wherever. Unless, you know, if we're taken care of and everything's organized well, it's way more important if everything's on time than if I'm in a high school or not. As like if I'm not freezing backstage or overheated, you know, that's way more important than where it is. You know, if the temperature is good, like, I don't know, 70 or something. Because, like, sometimes you freeze your ass up. You're like, what the fuck, you know? And then sometimes you're like, bro, we have 10 on. We can't be, like, here in a sauna. So that's very much more important than, for me, for the competitor, for the look, you know, that everything is stable. And I have to look up the weather. What's the weather like in Salt Lake right now?
Don't know. But you have to document this next part of your prep.
Yeah. What do you want me to document?
Everything.
What do you want to know?
Your nutrition, your training, everything that you do.
Okay.
Pretty much everything that you do.
I'll tell you.
So that we can see how it worked out or didn't.
Yeah. Okay, it's kind of, it's going to get cold. 52, 54. Around when I'm coming. Okay. I have to bring a hoodie. But
I'll tell you something I did for the USAs when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably out of the box. I went to Chicago and it was snowing.
Mm-hmm.
So in my hotel, there was the dry heat room, a sauna. And right before the prejudging, I put on like 6 layers of fucking clothes, like sweatshirts and sweats, and a big fucking jacket. And I went and I sat in that sauna for as long as I could stand it. And I had my father parked right outside the door with the car on, with the heater on. And I stayed in there as long as I could stand it. And then I got out of the sauna, went straight into the car, and I sat there like this in the car. And we drove to the venue, which was just like 5 minutes away. And I got out there and I went straight into the back where everybody was back there lined up for prejudging. And because Chicago was cold as shit. So I sat in there and I was just covered up in this fucking, all these layers of clothes with this big jacket on. And all these kids were back there and they were all there. They were already stripped down and pumping up and everything. And they were like, where's this California guy we were hearing about? And I was just sitting saying nothing. I'm just sitting in the corner, like covered up in my jacket. I'm just trying to stay warm. I knew I needed to be warm because I knew the fucking cold would, like, you know, make me flat and not vascular. So I just stayed like that. And then literally, like, when they called us to go on stage, I pulled all that shit off in a hurry. And I remember they were already walking on stage and my father was like putting oil on me and really quick. And then I literally had to run up the back ramp to catch up to them backstage. And right as we were about to go on stage, I just got back there and all I did for pumping up was like started flexing my legs and doing like some calisthenics. And some dude looks at me and I had striations all in my legs and he's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, I'm that California guy. And then we walked on stage and I just fucking crushed them all because I was the only one shredded at that time.
Yeah.
But I just needed to stay warm. That was my thing at that point. I knew because of the cold, I wasn't used to that cold weather. So
yeah, one time I was in Atlanta. It was the Chicago Pro in Atlanta that I did. It was during COVID. That's why they moved everything around, right? Like Chicago was shut down. So the Chicago Pro took place in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what time of the year it was, but it's freaking cold. Everyone's freezing backstage. Everyone's like also like packing up in you know, blankets, and it's crazy. Like no one wanted to pump up. It was horrible. Like, and these guys, like, I don't know, like, can't you just not save on the heating? Yeah, I don't know. That was not good. That was like, it was really cold. It was like, I don't know, 50. It was not warm. Yeah.
Well, anyways, if it's cold in Utah, stay covered up right before and try to stay warm.
Yeah.
Right till you have to strip down.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, I think we're coming up on like over 3 hours or something. So
yeah, 2 hours. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. So don't forget this Saturday we're gonna have that we're gonna do the live stream for the Detroit Pro, and we'll do the watch party. We'll be posting on Instagram the times and all that for you guys. So make sure you check in for that. And also leave your questions for next week's video. We'll do some more Q&A, and we'll plan to see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye. And subscribe to the channels. Subscribe to my channel. And like it and leave a comment how you liked it, and criticize us if we were wrong or whatnot. Just comment anything. Thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
we want to hear from you guys.
All right. Great, Larry.
I believe that the fires were cast upon, on the flames we shall become. I believe in a common cause.